Hello, and welcome to Salvage University. I am Cinder, and in this episode I will be helping you get a firm grasp of your career path in Salvage Union. There are 11 classes total that you can select and progress through. 5 core classes that each have a unique playstyle. They each have 3 basic ability trees, and once you have 6 of these basic abilities unlocked, you can advance it further, and then after unlocking the 3 advanced abilities, you can acquire 1 legendary ability, which will all serve into excelling in the singular role you have chosen for yourself. Alternatively, you could opt for a hybrid path. There are 5 hybrid classes in total. Each one utilizes 2 core classes and each of their basic ability trees. This adds some level of flexibility when selecting basic abilities, before then opting into the advanced path of the hybrid classes, taking the core ingredients and mixing them into something unique in its own right. Alternatively, if you don't want to seek an advanced or legendary path and want to stick with a combination of just basic abilities, which, while it is considered a core class, it can better be described as a jack of all trades, but master of none, with an added benefit that it can take 12 basic abilities total, as the other classes and hybrid classes can only take 10 abilities total. But since this is at the cost of not being able to take advanced or legendary abilities, which can be seen as a detriment, considering the strength that certain advanced abilities and legendary abilities can provide. Now, when you select your starting class, you will have 1 basic ability in the level 1 for a core class's 3 basic trees, or the 6 trees that you would get from 2 core classes if you were to select a hybrid path. Now, when looking at the class trees, it's best to look at them as either branching paths that you need to work up, or as a web that threads together. So you need to consider how things connect and lead on when considering the path you want to take towards a legendary ability. For example, if you are an engineer and you are wanting to unlock the advanced engineer path, you will need all 3 points in the mech tech tree to link to that advanced path, which the remaining 3 points that you would need to get those 6 total basic abilities could go into either of the other trees. However, if you are choosing a hybrid class, you would have 2 basic ability trees that you could pursue to unlock that advanced hybrid path, with your 3 remaining basic abilities needed to unlock going into either of the other 2 core classes' basic trees. For example, if you were pursuing the Fabricator Advanced tree, you could take either the Electronics or Forging path, and once that was at level 3, you would be able to unlock the advanced path so long as you had 6 points in your basic abilities. If you hadn't acquired 6 total basic abilities, you would have the choice of any of the Hacker trees or Engineer trees to add points into to then unlock the advanced Fabricator path. Now, for acquiring the points that are required to unlock these basic abilities, you would require training points. Training points are acquired during downtime on the Union Crawler, primarily by allocating time in the pilot bay, and also paying a scrap cost. Each basic tree ability costs 1 talent point, while every advanced ability costs 2 talent points and legendary abilities cost 3. If at any point you were wanting to unlearn an ability, it would only cost you 1 training point. However, you would need to then pay the training point cost for the replacement's ability there and then. Say, for example, you wanted to unlearn 2 abilities from 1 basic tree and learn 2 abilities from another basic tree. This would cost you 2 TP to unlearn those 2 basic abilities, and then 2 TP to learn those 2 basic skills, totaling at 4 training points. This is to eliminate the fear of locking yourself out from advanced abilities, because if you unlearned your basic abilities to no longer have the 6, you would technically not have your advanced abilities. Thus, everything has to be paid in full. This means you can continue to utilize the pilot bay to acquire training points even if you have your legendary ability already unlocked, in order to provide some form of flexibility with your builds. This could be something as such as trading out your legendary abilities depending on the mission, at the cost of 4 training points each time. Or, if you were the Salvager, stockpiling a number of training points to unlearn and relearn abilities as you need for the mission, as they do not have the 2 training point and 3 training point costs of advanced and legendary abilities. The Salvager doesn't have the steep costs to relearn abilities. I hope this video has helped with any questions you may have had with career advancement as well as selecting career paths. but you should also still discuss these with your mediator, as they may interpret these rules differently, or may wish to bend them to make them easier to use. For example, one mediator may ask you to select a core class before you can branch into a hybrid class, while other mediators might just allow you to select that hybrid class right away as your starting class, which would have an impact in the starting abilities you would choose to select, as you work your way up those basic skill trees and into the advanced and legendary paths. This ends the video on class selecting and career advancement. I hope you have found this useful, and I hope to see you all in the next video.